Hey everyone, this is Napasa on Immigration Talk Show, and welcome to Daily Immigration News. Thank you so much for joining us, and we are streaming live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on X. So please feel free to join us, connect with us, follow us, and also don't forget to hit that bell icon, subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show, and hit that bell icon so that whenever we have discussions or webinars with amazing attorneys and guests who join us, to enlighten us more with their expertise. This is why we need you to hit that bell icon. And once again, friends, this is Nipasa. I'll be your host for today's session, but also I'll be joined by my co-host Sam very, very soon. But before that, I've got this important disclaimer to read out to you. By watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. So, friends, let me tell you that you're also very much welcome to share your ideas, opinions about the topic of discussion and anything relevant with it. And that you can do by, commenting wherever you're watching us from, and also by dialing this number. You can call in to speak with us, and the number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So dial in and join us. Yeah. And today's topic of discussion, as you can already see on the screen, is why are U.S. student visa revoked, and should Indians worry? And I'm sure that you must have seen everywhere in the news that student visas are being revoked, and everybody is sort of in a situation where they do not know what's going to happen next, and if they're really going home, if they can still be a student, can we still call them a student of the US universities? Well, we're going to talk about all of that today in this session. But please, before that, help me welcome my co-host Sam. Hi Sam, really good to have you today as well. I hope
Hi,
your day has
Napasa.
been.
Yeah, of course. It was a good day, and we had a lot of work to do. And yeah, again, it's a very exciting topic and a very important one because today we are going to talk about students again. And I think this is really important because students are considered to be like future of any nation, right? And what's happening with them, I think we are going to delve into this topic in a very deep manner. And of course we'll understand different perspective also, like what is happening, why the student visas are being revoked, what are the reasons behind it, and also what students can do right now. So I think, yeah, it's really going to be a very informative session. And the best part is that our friends can also join us on this session by dialing at this number that is on top of your screen. Friends, go ahead and dial up 425 with the access code 988888. And also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, Immigration Talk Show, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe right now so that you don't miss any important update. And with that, I think without any further ado, let me take up the news update that I have thought to cover in this session. And this is another
Sure.
very important news update, friends, and that's about, a US bill that making waves right now. So let's see what is this new US bill. So there's a proposed US bill, and it is aimed at ending the OPT program. Yes, you heard it right. That is optional practical training program. So, in case if some viewers have joined us for the first time or have not very much clarity regarding the OPT, let me just give a sneak peek about it. Like, it's the program that allows international students, especially in STEM, to work in the US for up to 3 years after completing their graduation. So it's like a stepping stone between your college life and your career success. Of course, after completing your graduation, you'll get 3 more extra years to work, to live, to learn, and that has a great opportunity for the students. But now, according to this new program, the opt is going to get an end. In fact, for over 300,000 Indian students in the US are studying there, and opt isn't just a perk, but it's an essential thing. It also offers, real world experience, helps students with student loans, and also often open doors to an H-1B visa, which many use to build long-term careers in the US. Of course, students who mostly study in the US, they go and opt for the H-1B visa, and after H-1B, they go and opt for the green card. So I think these things are interlinked with each other, and ultimately, students who are studying in the US, they want to live permanently in the US because they have that American dream. And but right now this is like creating a big challenge for the students, and also it would create challenges because students might have to secure H-1B visa right after graduating. And yes, the H-1B process can be quite tougher and very competitive this time. But here's the thing: students are resourceful, resilient, and are already taking steps, looking for sponsors, planning ahead, and exploring options. So, friends, let's not forget that every challenge brings new opportunities. And of course, there are different challenges. And this time, the process is becoming little stricter, becoming little more difficult to, adapt. But of course, there are some opportunities that you need to find out. And I think this conversation is not just about a bill or a visa, but it's also about how US continues to shape its role as a global education hub. And if we talk about President Donald Trump, then of course, the past leadership of him, we have seen quite a tighter rules, but also an emphasis on merit, national interest, and fairness through, and also transparency over the system. So, of course, if one side the challenges are increasing, the other side the opportunities are also increasing. And if similar policies return, then they may bring structure and security that students can plan around. So long as they are clear, consistent, and communicated well. So, friends, please let me know in the comment below that do you think that should this US student continue to study in the US, or they should they should go elsewhere, like maybe Canada or Europe, or like what is the thing that you think that the US student should do right now? And also, what do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts and drop them in the comments below. And this was the news from my end. And Pasa, please go ahead with the other news update.
Thank you so much, Sam. And my news is also with regard to students, and especially the F1 students out there, who have been facing issues already. But this is also, about all you folks out there. Did you know that even a small legal issue like a traffic ticket, maybe, could really affect your visa status these days? I know it's shocking to hear, but yes, that's what is happening. I mean, even tickets that you received years ago could somehow, get dug up, and they could sort of bring you some issues that you could face with your visas. So I really hope that, you're not very surprised with this, but it's happening, and you better be alert because it is happening. And also at the same time, do not worry because I think let's break down what information I could collect and yes, help you stay informed at the same time. So stay with me. So if you think about what is going on, recently some international students, including many from India, they have received notices that their F1 status has, been impacted because of older legal incidents. And this is what they're talking about, like a driving violation while on a learner's permit. I know it's crazy, right? If you think about it, this is also giving out some problems right now to a few students, and also a shoplifting case that was settled years ago. And if you were even a part of minor offenses which were fully resolved in the court, you think that you committed something and it got resolved in the court or with the parties you had to deal with, but then these are being dug up and they are sort of creating a obstacle when it comes to your visa. So if you can guess, some of them are now being told that their SEVIS record has been terminated and their F1 visa is no longer valid. And they even may need to voluntarily leave the US. I know that's a huge step, and some of them are getting notified this way as well. It's very shocking and unexpected, but this is what is happening. And friends, if you haven't as yet heard of all this, I'm sure this is eye-opening news for you. Please pay attention. And also, even for things that happened years ago, Yes, I know this is a story that really needs all of your attention. So, let's be clear, this isn't about anyone doing anything wrong right now. It's more about, how immigration systems are reviewing past legal records. And this time it's more closely than ever before. So think of it as a reminder, that the rules are evolving and we all need to stay updated. Okay. So one immigration lawyer even said and shared that he's handling about 30 student cases just like this. And many of these students are top performers with great records. So this is a wake up call, in a good way, because knowledge is power, right? So what we all can do, what you folks can do, especially students out there, is, you know, return to the checklist. This is the checklist that you might want to note down. So if you have a pen or a paper, or just record this, possibly, or you can always watch this again. That is, if you've ever had any legal issue, even from years ago, just speak to an immigration attorney, just to be sure. Get help, basically discuss it, so that you know what to do when situations where you are asked to leave, or are detained, or are even questioned. You have your answers on the right path. Okay, and stay in regular touch with your DSO, your designated school official, because they are your go to person for SEVIS updates, right? And also don't ignore even small citations or tickets, because it's very important to address them and quickly, as soon as possible, and keep the records, okay? And of course, you've got to stay informed, stay connected with updates like this. And this is why we are also here for. So, friends, if you haven't as yet already subscribed to our channel, make sure that you subscribe. Do it right now. What are you waiting for? And you can also hit that bell icon so that you are notified when we have discussions like these, so that you can also join in to share your opinions, your views, what you think, and probably what we could also do, right? I mean, we just want to sort of be supportive towards each other. If you have brilliant ideas, you're always welcome to share them with us. Okay. And yes, do you think really these past incidences, these past, which are issues already resolved legally, do you think that, they could be considered as visa decisions, which is happening already right now? I mean, what do you think about this this point, this thing that is happening right now? You could leave your comments. Do let us know what you think, and do you think it's is this just good compliance, or should there be more flexibility? Whatever your thoughts are, your point of views, do share them with us. We are always happily welcoming all of these thoughts, and who knows, we could help people out there. So, yes, I think, Sam, that was my news update. And it's crazy what students are facing right now, right? I mean, just yesterday I was reading a news about 300 SEVIS being revoked, and
Yeah.
today, like, another update is, your past legal decisions, issues which you had faced, whether it was a minor one, even, they're being dug up. So I
Mm-hmm.
really hope that you're aware and you're making a point to learn more. Knowledge is power here. So always stay updated, get in touch with your attorney, and get some help. Learn more about the legalities, rather, the rules, the regulations, the laws,
Yeah,
especially the new ones. Okay. And yeah, I think nobody can shake you if you know all of that.
that's
What do you
right.
say, Sam?
I think absolutely. I completely agree with the statement that you have put up, and because this time, of course, it is becoming little challenging not only for students but for attorneys too, because the cases are becoming more complicated, the numbers are becoming like increasingly, the visas are being revoked. So, of course, it is a difficult time. It is a bit challenging time, but I think, of course, the only solution, friends, is to have the right path, and the right path is only to stay informed more and more, to have the right source. By also, I would say that if you have your attorney with you, then please make sure that you go and consult with them about each and every small details, because small mistakes can make a big difference, and this time it's really hard, it's really tough. So I think make sure to watch these webinars that we have in immigration talk show about daily immigration doors, where we have a great discussion and we can also share the casual exchange of ideas, not only regarding, it shouldn't be stick to any political view or shouldn't stick to any informative thing. It's just what you feel, what is your thinking about the topic. So I think it's a great platform where we can actually have a great conversation and we can connect with our audience more and more. And I can see so many comments here, just the beginning of our show. Supriya is here. Nirav is also here, and friends are also watching us. So I think, of course, we are going to take up these comments after quite some time. But with that, I think let me just let our viewers know like what's happening right now. So, of course, there's a sudden visa revocation, and in the last few months, we have been hearing so many news regarding, the U.S. immigration is canceling these student visas, and it is happening at big universities like Harvard, Stanford, UCLA, and UC Berkeley. So whenever we take these names of top tier universities, we always have such a respected feeling toward these universities, and that too students who are studying in these places. But it's really sad that student visas are being revoked if the individual, it mostly happen when students are not following the laws, or maybe they are violating some law, or maybe academically they are not that bright enough, or they have some ties regarding to maybe terrorist activities or some criminal activities, or they did something like unauthorized employment. But this time, most of the students, they are having this big question in their mind that they are not having any of these issues, but still their visas are being revoked. And what's really worrying to them is like many students had no idea that their visas got cancelled. So it's like, there wasn't any prior information about their visas getting cancelled. There was no
Exactly.
phone call, there was no message, no email, no nothing. Just, they were having their daily routine as if they were going to classes, they were interacting with their friends and doing their homeworks and, doing their classes on a regular basis. But suddenly, when they just found out, when they checked the students' records in the federal database, then they get to know that, oops, their visa got revoked. And this was
Yeah.
really shocking and very disturbing because, of course, this means that some students who didn't even realize this and their legal status in the US was gone. So I think this was really sad, and of course, students feel so depressed right now. And of course, because they have worked so hard, they have paid fees also. Some of the students have taken loan from their parents, and it's so hard for any middle class student to study in the US, to at least try to adapt the culture and try to adapt the financial situation in the US. And suddenly they are getting to know that their visas has been cancelled, and that too without warning, without any explanation. So I think right now the students are having just confusion, fear, and of course uncertainty is of course there. And of course, if we also talk about different case studies, then there's Columbia, a PhD student, Ranjani Srivasan. I think I'm not mistaken with the name. Then he was also, after a surprise visa cancelled, his visa like got cancelled in a very surprising way. And there was another student also, like Badr Khan Suri, who was also detained, and he has been like targeting, because he had something related to the protest that was going on in the university. So because of that issue, he also got his visa revoked. So it's like it's a very tough time, and that's what going on right now. So yeah, I think students are right now very anxious and very feeling quite devastated, and that too Indian students, because Indian students are huge in number in the US, and that too they are studying in such a big universities. So yeah, that's what happening right now, and I can't say more on that. But Napasa, please continue with the next information.
No, it's so true. I mean, people, students out there who are walking into the class, preparing for the finals, maybe, or maybe even applying for their OPT, and suddenly, without any warning, they are, getting to know that their visa is being revoked, their student visa is being revoked. it's so shocking. Nobody's prepared for all of this, and boom, they have it.
Yeah.
So I think friends definitely already know what's happening behind the scenes, what's happening, what's the current situation in many, even most renowned universities.
Yeah.
It's crazy what the situation has become, and I think nobody was prepared for all of this. But now, since it's already happening, I think it's time to collect ourselves, try to get to know what we can do so that we are on the right direction and we have answers. We're not just left like in shock, like what's going to happen and what's going to happen to our visa status.
Mhm.
Why has there been no warning, right? There are so many questions going on in everybody's minds, so we'll just have to wait a little bit more for better answers, especially with regard to why is it suddenly happening and why especially without any warning, right? And thank you so much, Sam, for giving us a peek into what is happening right now. What is the situation right now with regard to
And the
student visas?
irony
And
is, Napasa, that it
yeah,
is mostly happening in the top universities. Because
exactly.
the question
Yeah.
is again that, why the top universities are being targeted. Because top universities, they're completely, focusing on their studies, they're academically brilliant. And when somebody is getting admission in Harvard universities and UC Berkeley, then of course they have their brilliant academic background, but still things are taking place. And yeah, Napasa, please go ahead. I don't want it to interrupt you, but
No, it's true
I
what you've
just
said, and these are the places where the most brilliant international students get their admissions into, right? Getting a seat in these really renowned and the most, I mean, the best of the universities of the world, not just in the United States, but these are students who have worked hard for it, for all of their visas, for all of their seats, for to be a part of that institution, to be in these universities, to study.
Mhm.
So it's crazy when you think about it, and how the situation has turned. Because nobody ever thought, right? Like
Yeah.
these universities could also be targeted, especially the international students out there who are already brilliant,
Mhm.
and they do deserve those seats. They deserve to be there in these institutions to continue with their studies, right? So I'm sure people out there also have some things to say to. So keep sharing what you think about the situation that's happening right now without any warning. Students and their visas are being revoked. So yes, and coming to our points, Sam, like about this discussion, it's crazy how why these elite schools are in the spotlight. It's not just random colleges, right? It's not. It's the elite institutions, like you said it right, Harvard, then Tufts, then even Stanford University, Columbia University, UCLA, and even Dartmouth.
Yeah.
I mean, this really raises serious questions. Everybody have their eyebrows raised, like what's happening, especially today when the news broke out. And it's like when you think about it, it's sort of strategic. I'm sure they've had this focus on influential campuses as well, who are having higher likelihood of activism and even so much that's happening. They have their voices, they know what they're doing, and
Mhm.
they're not just active with their academia but also everything else around.
Right.
They're very passionate about what they think and their ideas. So yes, I mean, we can all explore the implications and targeting these campuses. I don't know, what do you have to say about that, friends? I would really like to know your point of views. And also, if students from these universities, these uh, big names, elite names, they are being punished for where they study or just for the ideas they discuss even. So are these really revocations based on immigration policy, or is there some other reason? We really have to think about it. It's too early to say, but this is the real scene. It's happening already.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of y'all are watching right now and maybe facing this also. Let us know if you are, and we would like to know your story. What were you doing when you got to know about this revocation?
Yeah. And I think
And
a similar comment we have got from Nirav also. I think let me take up this quickly. And Nirav is saying that my brother just got his F1 visa approved for fall 2025 intake. But now we are hearing news that many Indian students are being stopped at the airport and I will send back. What exactly is triggering these revocations? So I would say, Neera, first of all, of course, I'm so sorry to hear about it, and we don't even have a time to say that congratulations or sorry, because as you, of course, your brother got his F1 visa, but today only we got this news, and that too, a very different news. And if we talk about like why these revocations, I mean, why is these things are happening? Then, honestly, according to the information that I have went through, there hasn't been any, clear statement that has been given from the U.S. government, like why are they targeting these universities or why are they revoking the F1 visa, right? So I think, of course, the targeted institutions are there, and if we also talk about like big reasons why some student visas are being cancelled, then it is according to the assumptions and most of the articles that we have tried to collect the information. It has been said that many international students are of course losing their visa because one reason can be that they took part in protest or shared posts on social media that was specially around political topics, mostly like Israel Palestine conflict. So, of course, I think when this protest happened, from there only things got little tricky and things becoming little more trickier, I would say. And this can be the most important reason that why these universities are being targeting, because of course if we take the example of Mahmoud Khalil also, who was a graduate from Columbia University, and that too a very top university, right, of US, and had his visa got revoked because he also joined that protest on campus. So I think because of getting these examples also, we can understand that US government is not willing to take any chance to go against with the security of their nation. And also, if we take example of Rumesa Osterg, who was also a PhD student at Tufts University, and also Tufts University is again a top tier university, and she was also detained by federal agents because she was also involved in some protest, or the exact reason for her revocation of the visa wasn't clear much, but this can be the reason. And of course this puts international students in a very difficult spot, and that too when they are not being informed, and that too when there's no information about their revocation. So one hand, I would say the US Constitution, they are trying to protect so much to their people, but other thing is also that they are not providing a much clearer answer, or I would say much clearer statement. So I think if they'll provide a statement regarding like why are they removing these F1 visa students and what can be the reason behind it, then it would be a little easier for all of us to understand, and of course those steps will be taken care of, so that the students, especially the Indian students who are right now in a very fearing condition, they might take steps so that they won't follow anything that goes against the US government laws and rules. But I would say, like, of course, there are so many things, and it is becoming a very tricky situation for international students. In fact, while in the US on an F1 visa, one has to suppose to focus on their studies, and that what Napasa US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has also said that they are the students and their main focus should be to study and not to involve in any protest or not to become any activist. And I think this time, of course, the US government is becoming a little stricter. So that can be the reason that why they are targeting these universities. And yeah, I think that can be the answer to Neerav's comment too.
Interesting, Sam, how you've put it. And of course, I know like students are here for studies and studies only. And especially when they start becoming way too active with regard to activism, getting, trying to prove a point where they're putting way too much heart, soul, and passion to it, more than they should be doing into their studies, then it comes into everybody's notice because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to be as loud, right? So I think this is what they're trying to stop. Of course, everybody, they have the right to share their opinions, but right now, from what we see, if people are sharing too much opinions about themselves, also they're falling into trouble. I know it's not a funny thing, but this is really happening. And students out there, I think, even if you are way too passionate about many things that could be very important to you, whether it is about your country, about some music, anything or everything. I mean, try to keep it to yourself for a bit now, at least, because we see that no matter which institute you belong to, I mean, could be the most elite ones, the most renowned ones, or even like a small institute. But try not to fall too much into the limelight, with all these other things. I mean, if you are into academia, you're there for your studies, try to achieve those scores, and why not be known for that rather than getting known for being an activist or something else. So yeah, all the best. And that said, we also have Supriya's comments, which I will be happy to take. But also at the same time, I just want to inform you folks out there that, there is something called catch and revoke AI surveillance that's going on. This is a new thing. And if you didn't already know, let me tell you that, United States is now reportedly using AI powered system called catch and revoke. And
Yeah.
this is mainly to scan, your social media, identify students allegedly supporting different organizations, especially terrorist organizations, according to what the news has it, and also cancel their visa. So this definitely raises deep concerning questions about surveillance, accuracy, and even freedom of expression. But like I said, try not to express too much about all these things. I mean,
I
not
think
right now at least.
yeah, that's right. But if we also look about the question that most of the people are saying that US,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, the government is not focusing on freedom, or the freedoms are being restricted. Then I would say that, of course, people, if they are seeing in a way like the students who protested or who involved in those activities, they have, of course, different repercussions. But of course, I would say that this time US is trying to becoming little more organized, and the options, I would say, the jobs or the duties, the one person who came to the US, if they are not following that, then I think other than that, there's no use to like how to say, I'm just confusing a bit, but I'm just thinking that, of course, the one, those who have came to the US with a dream, and of course, if this time that to a very stricter situation and stricter rules are happening, then I think it is really important to stick to what your duties are, instead of focusing on what's happening in different country. Of course, if something is very wrong is happening, then of course you can raise your voice and you can go up against with that. But when you are a student, when you are studying in your college, in your university, and that too, maybe most of the students have taken loans, or their parents condition might be different, so there can be different stories to different students. And if they are coming to the US and trying to involve in these protests, then I think, of course, nobody will like it. And that is why, it's President Trump administration. So they are also being little tricky about all these rules and regulations that's happening. So, yeah, I think I just wanted to put up that also in front of our viewers. And I think, yeah, Nepasa, you can please go ahead and add more onto the conversation.
Sure, I will. And I was saying, before I spoke too much about this, that I would take up Supriya's comments. So that's what I'm going to do now. Supriya, hi. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. And this goes out to all of us watching right now, that if you haven't as yet, subscribe to our channel, subscribe. Yes, this is your time. And our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And I hope that you have been enjoying this content and have been resonating with what we have to share. In fact, if you too have your point of views, you are very much welcome. Come and join us, comment wherever you're watching, or join us on a call. You can call us on this number 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. But also check us out. We are not just on YouTube, we are also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and also on Instagram. So these are the handles that we would love you to connect with us. And Supriya, hi again. So Supriya is saying minor traffic violations and accidental shoplifting have now become the new set of reasons for US authorities to revoke the visas of international students. And this comes after several Indian and other international students being deported for their involvement in pro Palestine campus activism. Yes, we've heard that a lot recently, right? And we do know of the cases that, where we hear that the students had to leave the country. Thank you, Supriya, for highlighting that as well. And several immigration lawyers told the New York Times that they began receiving frantic emails and calls late last week from students who had been notified by the State Department of their universities that their visas or statuses had been terminated without clear justifications. That's very true. In fact, like we were discussing earlier, I and Sam, that there has been no warnings, no notifications, no prior, shout outs that, that you're going to be revoked, that you have to be careful, that you cannot do this or that. But suddenly, on a normal day when you're going to your class, probably appearing for your exams, preparing for your OPT, and suddenly you know that your visa is being revoked and you don't really know the exact reason, but this is really happening. And yes, everything you have done in this country, even before a year or maybe 2 years when you were a student, this could be your final year, and probably in the first year you were new in this country and you did some things which were not very great, and those are coming into the limelight right now. Why? Even though they're all being solved, they have resolved in the court, it's it's coming up, and you are to face issues, you are going to be interrogated. So what I would say is, you should have some tick marks, some checkpoints that you really need to do. And one of them, which is very important, is go talk about it to with your immigration attorney. If you do not have one, go consult with one, get one, and check our channel out at Immigration Talk Show, because we do have a lot of attorneys who join us also, and their expertise could help you out. And it's always best to know better, especially about your case. So yes, consult with an expert. And immigration attorney is a must. Discuss your case, discuss maybe even the tiniest thing that you have probably faced in the past also. Dig it out, it yourself, what is it that you had done. It could be a very normal DUI case, it could be something you did, you regretted, it was solved in the court, but then you have that fear that it could be coming back at you right now. So discuss that, it's very important. Thank you, Supriya, for joining us with your comment.
Okay,
um,
and let me take up next comment. And this is from Ranjit. So, hi Ranjit, and thank you so much for your comment. Let me take up this question that students fear that lawful behavior, especially political expression, might lead to visa problems. Recent policy changes have amplified these fears. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has ordered US diplomats to review the social media post of visa applicants, particularly looking for criticism of the US and Israel. Okay, again, it's a very important comment, Ranjit. And first of all, thank you so much for sharing up this very important information with us. And yeah, that's right. That's very true. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is ordering to the US diplomats to review the social media post. And of course, this news we have been sharing in our platform, and it's a very tough thing because social media posts, people are very casual, people are very free, and any update or any post that they're liking, they're sharing, or putting up in the story. This time, of course, for immigrants, this is little tougher, this is little challenging, and they can't be free enough, they don't feel as in that they are using social media because of course someone is eyeing them. And I think this is what it's happening right now. But the only way, friends, of course, these time will pass on. I think this is the only year, or maybe this will be few months where things will need some time to be little organized, because of course the system is also being, I would say, very messed up. Very, it's a lots of negativities are also there, and so many illegal immigrants are also there. So I think to clear it up, it needs little time to make the whole system more fairer and more transparent. So I would say, like, be little patient and have some faith, be hopeful. Of course, if you are right on your end, if you haven't done anything wrong, and if you have followed proper law and everything, then of course, for sure, nobody can try to revoke your visa. Nobody can try to, kick you out from the US. If you guys are feeling like that way, then of course it's not going to happen, because the right people are also there who are staying in the US. And of course, we do have, Napasa, right? Some of our viewers who are happily staying in the US. And during this time also, they are saying that they're working happily, they're going to their companies, and just the only thing is that they are being informed about all the news and about all the things that's happening in the world of immigration. And
Yes.
they're having a very regular routine, a very happy routine. The people, those who are falling into these pitfalls, of course there are some mistakes that they unknowingly did. But for that, friends, also, we have solution. We have been posting up these videos. We have been having great shows with attorneys, so you can consult with them, you can participate in our webinars, and you can also watch out our channel. It's a great content that we provide to you all, only so that you guys get the more and more information about the topics and make yourself aware. Even the one, those who have did mistake unknowingly, they can, uh, I would say, reverse it and make it a better one. So, yeah, Ranjit, thank you so much for your comment, and keep watching Immigration Talk Show. And also, a question for you: have you subscribed to our channel yet or not? Then please subscribe it now, because, of course, we are here for you all, and we put a lot of effort to have these shows, to gather more and more information for you guys. So, it would be lovely if you could like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, friends, do that if you haven't already, okay? And check us out also. We are not just on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram, where you're most connected. And here we talk about social media again, right? But yes, I think it's very important to be careful. Too much of anything is bad, they say, right? So, too much of passion for anything is also going to come back at you at some point or the other. So I would just say stay safe, stay as neutral as possible, especially with regard to things you're not there for the country. You did not come into the country to do, right? So
Yeah.
you're here for your studies, you're here to work, stick to that. Try not to fall astray, for anything that's poking you to do so. I would say, I know at this moment even social media is going to come back at you. But so, like I was saying, like if you're too much into anything, even if it is social media, it's going to come back at you. So try to be just neutral and do things just in the correct proportion. I would say. I know you can't calculate that at least with social media, but yeah, all the best. And there's a lot happening every day. We're waking up into new policies, new changes, new rules that we need to keep in mind. But it's always best to stay informed. Do your research. There is new things coming, and always consult an immigration attorney who is the expert who can help you best. And yeah, thank you so much, Ranjit, Supriya, and also Neerav, for your comments and for sharing your point of views. Very, very important points. And I hope that all you folks out there watching us right now, whichever platform you're watching us, that you have been resonating with what we've been speaking. And if you have any point of views that you want to differ or you want to point out, do comment. We'll be very happy to hear from you. So, yes, our handle is at Immigration Talk Show once again. This is not just on YouTube, we are also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram. and check us out, friends. Of course, you can also join us. You can leave me your questions in case you want me to ask them in our webinars we have with different attorneys. You can email me. My email address is nipa@staffingly.com, but I'm more active on WhatsApp. So just WhatsApp me, just say hi, who are you, where you joining us from, tell me about yourself, and ask me the question. I'll be very happy to direct them to our attorneys. So my phone number where you can WhatsApp or call me is 408-335-6444. You can check it out on the screen. It is there for you to note it down. Once again, I can repeat: 408-335-6444. And that said, Sam, anything else you want to leave our viewers with before we leave?
I think everything we have shared in this in this webinar, and of course, friends, if you have any questions regarding the topic or anything that is still stuck in your mind, then please try to be vocal. You can be vocal in immigration talk show. We are not suggesting you to be vocal outside from here. But please, it would be lovely if you could participate more and more by dialing in this number, or even after this live stream goes an end, we will still be taking your questions in the comment section. So, yeah, I would just suggest that make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And with that, also join us tomorrow again on Daily Immigration Dose. We will be coming live at 4 p.m. EDT. So, see you guys tomorrow. Till then, take care, stay informed, stay vigilant. It's me, Sam, with my co host, Napasa, signing off for now.
I just wanted to add one more point, and that is, friends, we do have some very interesting webinars lined up tomorrow. One is with attorney Prashanti Reddy, and another is with attorney David Garson. So check our channel out and do join us for these webinars where you can also ask your questions to these attorneys who will be very happy to give you an answer. So join us, okay? And that's it for now. So bye bye.